boiling point. And while I don't think, and it is reported that Senator Schumer did not clear his speech with Biden beforehand. Biden knew there was a speech coming, but he didn't clear it. He didn't know what was in it. As you said, he came out afterwards and said it was a good speech. So this is obviously something that not only they believe is the right thing to do as individuals and politicians, they also believe that this reflects the views of a lot of liberal Jewish American or Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Jasmine Al-Gamal, political analyst and former Middle East advisor to the US Department of Defense under President Obama. Apologies for the slightly dodgy line there, but I think we got the gist of very incisive, I should say, comments from Ms. Al-Gamal. Really, really interesting assessment of this idea of it being coordinated and maybe it being a pretext or a moment or a stepping stone to a bigger change of policy still. As I say, I think this is a massive moment here, and we should just take a moment to consider it. That basically, one of the most senior political figures in the United States has more or less called for a regime change, self-Jewish regime change in Israel, and Biden has, even in the last 10 minutes or so, essentially supported the idea. It's a massive moment in this conflict, and it's a massive moment in terms of Israeli-US relations. I wanted to get your thoughts on it and ask whether you agree with Schumer and even to some extent Biden that one of the big problems right now in this conflict is Netanyahu himself. 0345 6060 973 0345 6060 973. Lewis Goodall here on LBC. The time is 4:19.
LBC Travel, I'm Dave Goff. In Worcestershire, the M5 northbound is closed because of an accident between junction 7 for Evesham and junction 6 for Worcester, so there are severe delays. There are also severe delays in Swansea on the M4 westbound. There's one lane closed because a lorry has broken down between junction 44 for Llansamlet and junction 45 for Ynys Forgan. In Bedfordshire, they're accusing the M1. There's one lane closed in both directions between junction 11 for Luton and junction 10 for Luton Airport because of two separate breakdowns. In Greater Manchester, they're accusing the M60 clockwise after a lorry had a tyre changed earlier at junction 13 for Worsley, and they're accusing West Lothian. The M9 southbound is partly blocked. That's because of an accident between junction 2 for Old Philpston and junction 1B for Winchborough.
This is LBC.
Boots knows that spring can catch you off guard. 1 minute you're in winter mode, next minute blue skies, flowers blooming and the birds are singing. The season has changed, but you're not ready. Don't worry though, because Boots has got you covered. From L'Oreal and Monday to 17 and Revolution, we've got unmissable deals on everything you need. And with beauty experts on hand to guide you, Boots is your one-stop spring shop. Boots, with you for embracing spring. Boots, with you for life. Offers end 7th of May, subject to availability, selected stores.
This is LBC.
You'll have to go a long way to match a Volkswagen in match trim. They have all the bells and all the whistles. So whether it's a reliable hatchback, a super versatile SUV, or one of our exceptional all-electric ID models, you get extra spec as standard with every one of our 10 match trims. More Volkswagen for your money. Visit your Volkswagen retailer for our latest offers and more. Extra spec versus nearest equivalent VW trim. Visit volkswagen.co.uk for full details.
Imagine, it's Saturday. 1 minute you're lying on the sofa, horizontal, in your pyjamas, trying to guess which celeb is dressed up as a singing chicken, eyeing up the last sweet and sour pork ball. And the next, prawn crackers, you're a millionaire. Lotto, will you be next? Play on.
I've only got a bikini, Andy. This year at Riviera Travel, we're toasting 4 glorious decades of exploration. So here's to basking in a kaleidoscope of color as you journey across India. Here's to learning the true meaning of Zen in a traditional Japanese garden. Here's to being left speechless on a scenic helicopter flight above New Zealand's alpine glaciers. And here's to you joining our 40th celebrations on a choice of over 50 bucket list worldwide tours. Book today with Riviera Travel.
Get that Euro Millions feeling with this Friday's £110 million super jackpot. So super, you've got to dance. So let's dance like never before. On a beach, on your own private island. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on air. Estimated jackpot subject to currency fluctuations. And terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Lidl have everything you need with our quality range this Easter. Like our Good Housekeeping taste-approved deluxe hot cross buns. Only $1.25 for 4. And Easter Favorina chocolate treats from 79p. That's a cracking Easter with Lidl. Now that's big on quality and always Lidl on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, GB only.
When Kate and Gervais founded Health and Her in...
This is what he said.
Senator Schumer contacted my staff staff who's going to make that speech, and I'm not going to elaborate on the speech. He made a good speech, and I think he expressed a serious concern shared not only by him but by many Americans.
He made a good speech. Again, let's just take a step back. Schumer basically called for regime change in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, with his seat of the Israeli government. I mean, this is a big moment, and the President of the United States just endorsed it. Honestly, the relationship between Washington and Netanyahu just got subarctic. There are political considerations here, I'm sure. There's lots of worry within the Democratic Party in the US about liberal Americans, younger Americans, Muslim Americans, all big parts of the Biden coalition leading away in and before the November presidential election. So there'll be some politics here, of course, but there's geopolitics and serious policy questions here, and what this might be a precursor to, potentially. Big question now is if we get to the point where the Americans start withdrawing military support and so on to the Israeli government. It's a big question, big moment in the post-October the 7th world. Let's talk to Andrew, who's in Chigwell. Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm more in support of Netanyahu.
Right.
Because there's questions which are not being asked and not being spoken about. It has been said that part of the problem is Netanyahu, but part of the problem is also Hamas and the Palestinian people. It's impossible to come to a solution or a surrender or whatever you want to call it, ceasefire, when you have one party not recognizing the other party to Hamas. There's a lot more into this.
I agree, Andrew. Obviously, it's a complicated question, but if we're just going to confine our efforts to what Schumer said and what Biden has supported, why do you think it is then that they, who obviously know the situation very well, are saying that Netanyahu is a big part of the problem? They would say Hamas was part of the problem as well, but they're saying that Netanyahu is a roadblock to peace.
I think most of the parties are a roadblock to peace, but I think the reason why it is also being said, as you have said, it's a lot to do with we have an election coming up, and it's political. If they make the right noises, then they keep their support from the youngsters and from the Muslim people in the States. If they continually go support Israel, then Trump, because there's such a small gap between them, will go in and they will go out.
But Andrew, in fairness though, but I agree, there was definitely, of course, as with all these things.
Yes, I agree with what you are saying, but it has to be said Netanyahu and Hamas in the same sentence, because both sides stand to lose. Both sides stand to be thrown out and not supported. So it's yes, Biden is saying against Netanyahu, but they have also said it is both sides, and both sides have to be treated equally with regards to this non-negotiation and stalemate between